Hey everyone, it's Mike Swigunski here, founder of Global Career and best-selling author of Global Career: How to Work Anywhere and Travel Forever. Today I'm going to be talking about stonks. Sorry, I mean stocks. If you've been following the Wall Street bets or the GameStop trends here, there's been a lot of craziness happening in the markets. I'm going to touch on that briefly, but if you stick around in this whole video, I'm going to show you my exact stock investment strategy that's netted me more than 1,000% in return. I'm going to show you exactly what stocks I've been buying in, my strategy that is extremely passive and has accumulated really good returns on all of my stock investments. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you $500 in free money to start investing in stocks today. And we're getting started right now. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my laptop. It's going to be a lot easier to walk you through my stock portfolio. I'm going to walk you through each one of my stocks that I have in my portfolio, the ticker symbols, the percentage amounts, the performance that I have, and then I'll go ahead and share all this information. If you want access to this exact spreadsheet, I'll go ahead and share that in the description below. So let's go ahead and switch over to my laptop right now. And so just to get started off, I want to give you a little bit of background about myself. What do I know about the stock market? What do I know about finance? So my undergraduate was in studying finance. I've worked for Wells Fargo on a trading floor as a prime broker. I did have access to a Bloomberg terminal. I've also, graduated with an MBA, and I have been investing successfully in stocks since the age of 18. Now, I'm not a day trader. I go for a long-term hold positions for most of my stocks, and I've set up an extremely passive investment strategy that you can easily implement no matter how much money you're earning, no matter how much time you have. Anybody can do this. And again, I want to have a very strict asterisk that this is not investment advice. This is my personal strategy. It's what's worked for me. You need to make sure you're doing your own due diligence, investing an amount of money that you feel comfortable with. Again, any investment, depending on how risky it is, you need to factor in if this goes to zero, am I still going to be able to function? And just to kind of start off with my overall macro investment strategy, I have 1/3 in capital, in cash, in liquidity, and this is going to be what I recommend is having 6 to 12 months in cash. I have probably around 12-month runway just in cash sitting there for lifestyle expenses, for just the safety net kind of thing. The other third is going to be into the stock market, and my last third is going to be in cryptocurrencies. So if you haven't seen my cryptocurrency video, I'll make sure to leave a link below in the description, and you can see my crypto investment strategy. It's very similar to my stock strategy, very passive, very straightforward. And I'm going for all these stock investments. I'm going for a much longer term investment strategy. Instead of days, I'm looking at years. So as you can see from this spreadsheet, again, you can access this in the description below. But again, all I ask for in return is that you give this video a thumbs up and you consider subscribing, because I'm releasing at least 2 new videos every week. And I would really love to have your support as a subscriber. That's the reason I do these videos, is to help teach people more about finance, entrepreneurship, travel, and online businesses. So starting at the top here with my investment strategy, I just want to highlight this green area right here. I've gone and listed each one of the stocks that I've invested in, what percentage they are of my portfolio, and the performance that they had. And again, this is not investment advice. This is my current holdings. I just want to reiterate that this is a long-term strategy. I use a strategy called dollar cost averaging, where essentially every 2 weeks or every 15 days, I'm investing in stocks and cryptocurrencies, and I've taken a percentage of my income that I'm comfortable with investing into the stock market and into cryptocurrency. And I highly recommend you do this for your trailing 12 months and what you're predicting to earn in the next future 12 months. Find a percentage that you're comfortable investing in stocks or cryptocurrency and take that percentage. And I would say it probably should be more than 10%, but everyone needs to find a number that they're comfortable. And again, that's why I don't have the actual dollar amounts here, because every person's income is much different. Every person's risk, debts, and liabilities is going to be much different than mine. So I don't want you to get focused on the numbers, but I do want you to get focused on the percentage of my portfolio, coming up with a percent that you're actually comfortable with investing in stocks and investing in cryptocurrency. I highly recommend that it's at least more than 10% of your net profit or income that you're taking home to put into investments. So starting at the number one is Tesla. I got into Tesla at a really great time. As you can see from this performance, I started buying this stock when Elon was let go as CEO. And since then, it's had a really great performance, more than 1,000% of the Tesla stock performance. And again, this performance has an asterisk, and Charles Schwab essentially explains this performance as the dollar and percentage unrealized gain and loss is the hypothetical gain or loss that would be realized and potentially taxed if the investment was sold at the current market price. So if I was going to sell my complete index fund today, my complete stock fund today, this is the performance and amounts that I would earn. Now, this is fairly accurate for this example, and it says the calculation uses the current market value, security minus its cost basis. It is not intended to be used as a performance measure since it does not take into account all income generated by your investments. So this is a really good summary. It's not going to be perfect if you're utilizing for your taxes, but again, it is a really good figure to look at. This green portion here actually makes up around 92, almost 93% of my entire stock portfolio. The biggest portion is going to be in Tesla. Number two is going to be in the S&P 500, which is essentially the top 500 companies in the United States. And that's going to include companies like Tesla, Apple, Google, all these big, large companies. And that percentage alone, that 93% of my portfolio, has had a mixed average performance of around 319% increase in performance. So as you can see, a traditional stock market is going to have a good performance if it's over 10%. So I think if you're able to achieve something like this, you don't need to be risking so much. You need to be investing in companies that you think are going to have long-term increases. And that's essentially what I've done here is I've invested in companies that I know in the long run, in the next 10 to 15 years, are going to be sticking around. They're going to be making a lot of money, and they're going to be changing the world in really crazy ways that are going to increase this performance. So essentially, you can kind of look at this portfolio, and I highly recommend doing this. And if you do one thing here, I would say stick with the S&P 500. Again, it doesn't have as much crazy performance as Tesla, but if you're just utilizing the same strategy that I do, which is taking a percentage every month and putting it into dollar cost averaging. So every 15 days, I'm investing, I'm buying S&P 500, the Schwab S&P 500 index fund, which is those top 500 companies. And I've been doing this for the past 2 years. It's something that I don't have to think about. I've set up automatic buys for the S&P 500, and I've done the same thing for cryptocurrency. So 99% of the time, the dollar cost averaging, which is buying every month the same amount, the same days, you're going to outperform any sort of hedge funds, any sort of the best investors out there because you're staying consistent, you're buying the ups, the downs, and everything in between. So again, this is a really easy strategy. If I could go back to when I was 18, if I could do one thing was stay consistent, investing in the S&P 500, figure out every year changing the amount or refiguring out what amount of my income I want to put in the S&P 500, and then just setting that up to invest every 15 days or every week as much as you can to really dollar cost average. I would say if you can do weekly, that's even better. But for me, I have it set up for every 15 days to buy the S&P 500 and to also buy cryptocurrency, primarily in Bitcoin. So just to kind of recap, this is my investment strategy. I'm utilizing dollar cost averaging, but occasionally I do pick some stocks based off of news trends and companies that I know are going to be a good long-term hold. And then lastly, if you're wanting to get $500 in free stocks, you can go ahead and use this link below on the spreadsheet. I'll also include that in the description of this video. So I use Charles Schwab to invest in all of my stocks. They have a really great brokerage account. The good thing is you can link up your savings account and easily transfer money back and forth. And you can set up things like recurring buys for the S&P 500, like I was mentioning before. And so you can use this link. I don't get any commission or anything. It's just a way for you to get extra money. But you can get up to $500 in free money by depositing up to $1,000. So if you deposit $1,000 or more, you're going to get $100 bonus. But if you deposit more than $100,000, then you'll get that $500 bonus award. So again, Charles Schwab is a no-brainer for investment. You can do your own research and see, but I've been utilizing it over the past few years, and I absolutely love it. One of the reasons I really enjoyed it is because it has the brokerage account linked to my savings account. I can easily transfer money instantaneously between the two. And also, the other thing that I love about it is living overseas, I don't have to pay any ATM fees when I take out cash. It's a really good service. And overall, their customer support is just really top notch. I would say definitely look into it. I think it's one of the best places to invest. And again, it's going to be much better than anything like Robinhood or Webull. This is going to be a legitimate brokerage where you can invest without having to pay any crazy fees. So again, if you made it this far, appreciate all of your support by giving this video a thumbs up. If you learned one thing, interesting fact from this video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing for the 2 new videos that I'm releasing every week. And again, thanks so much. Safe investing out there, and hopefully everyone is going to be able to learn something new and start investing responsibly.